Next, would you take a test with a 50-50 chance of finding out you had an incurable disease? That's the dilemma that faces the children of a parent with Huntington's disease, a rare inherited disorder that damages certain nerve cells in the brain and progressively worsens over time. We're going to talk now to Hannah Clark and her sister Alexia Weston, whose mum has Huntington's. Alexia has chosen to be tested and has the gene, which means she will develop symptoms. Hannah has chosen not to find out. Alongside them is Kath Stanley, the CEO of the Huntington's Disease Association. Welcome, all of you. Thank you for coming on the programme. How difficult a decision was it to say, yes, I want to know, I'm going to have the test?
It was quite difficult, but after my mum got diagnosed, I kind of knew then and there that I wanted to find out for myself.
Why?
Having an anxiety disorder, the not knowing was much worse for me. I felt kind of stuck in a limbo that I couldn't move on with my life and make big decisions without knowing what was gonna, what my outcome would be. So for me personally, it just made sense for me to find out, so I could make decisions for the rest of my life.
So has it reduced the anxiety knowing that you have Huntington's?
In a way it has. Even though obviously the result wasn't what I'd hoped for, it means that I can be proactive in research. Me and my husband can make decisions regarding having children. We can have IVF. That means I won't pass on the gene. So for me,
because the embryos are screened.
Exactly. Yeah, the embryos.
And you only implant ones that don't have the gene.
Exactly. So I know that even though I will become ill at some point, I won't pass that down to my child, and that was a big driving factor for me getting tested.
Hannah.
Yes.
Sisters.
Yes.
But you don't want the test, you don't want to know.
No.
Why?
For me, I have no need to find out at all. I already have a child. I don't plan on having any more children at all. And I think for me, if it was a positive result where I do have Huntington's, I feel it would get me very low, depressed. I don't really want to take that risk, knowing that that could happen. I can't change the outcome. So at the moment, ignorance is bliss to me, just hoping that I don't have it. I've still got that hope inside that I don't have it. So for me, not doing the test means that I still have the equal chance of not having it.
And you both clearly respect each other's decisions.
Definitely, yeah.
We're in such different points
in our
lives
yeah.
that, and it's such a personal decision, and really you have to do it for you and, for your decision.
Yeah. Your mother has Huntington's, as we've said,
yeah.
As do your aunties.
Yeah.
Your grandmother had it too,
yeah.
and so did your great-grandmother.
Yeah.
I mean, that is incredible. But presumably going back through the generations, people didn't know so much about it, even if they knew what it was.
Yeah, no, so with my great-granny, they didn't know that she'd had it really until my granny was diagnosed. Then it made sense as to what her mother's symptoms were. And then, of course, our mum and aunties decided to get tested, and unfortunately, all three of them have it.
If you wanted to start your own family, oh no, you've started your own family. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I've just got that totally mixed up in my head. I've just heard you say you've got children, so it's fine. Let me bring in Kath. It's a personal decision.
Absolutely a personal decision, and so many things to be taken into consideration, and each family is different, each individual is different, and come to it in their own way. It's such a big decision. They have to be absolutely sure before going forward and being tested, because once you have the result, then there is no going back.
And we've discovered that there has been an increase in the number of people choosing to have the test. Why do you think that is, Kath?
I think there's for the first time ever, there's some real hope in terms of the research that's coming through the line. So we're not there yet, we're a long way away, but certainly in terms of some of the research that's happening, that probably will be on people who are either early symptomatic or people who are not yet showing symptoms. So it's an added reason really for people to be tested.
Right. At the moment there is no cure for Huntington's, only management of the symptoms. Do you feel hopeful that could change in your lifetime?
I do, yeah. I think it's come such a long way in the last even 3 to 5 years. But my decision to have IVF was, there's not a guarantee. So if I can have a child that didn't have it, you know, that kind of takes that worry away. But I do hope, you know, for Hannah's children and my other siblings' children, that by the time they're old enough to maybe develop symptoms, that there will be something for them.
How is your mum, and what are the symptoms?
There's so many.
Would be would be a morning.
And it can.
Some of the main ones.
It's mobility, isn't it? It's probably the main one. So when you see her, if she's standing on the spot, for example, she sways a lot from side to side on her hips. Bad balance, I'd say, as well, is probably one. And she does a lot of hand movements as well, like involuntary hand movements. And
then obviously you've got the more mental side of things, where her decision making isn't as good as it used to be. So now she's not able to drive because her decision making and her reactions are a lot slower, which takes, you know, people's, you know, she's, you know, become a lot more recluse in that sense, because her freedom, you know, has been taken away in a lot of ways. My two aunties, they've had to give up their careers they've worked their whole lives for.
Okay. Thank you, all of you. Thank you very much for coming on the programme and being so open about this. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you.